Can Dungeon Siege 1 be dethroned as best ARPG of 2025? I don't think so. I need something challenging. I need something ruthless. Oh shit, never been a game like this ARPG. Alright. League of Legends almost made it. Not quite the same game. Before y'all say there's never been a game like Dungeon Siege 1, what about Dungeon Siege 2? Have you even played it? A little bit? Okay. Have you even played Dungeon Siege 3, you might ask? To that, I say, screw you. Now the skill tree, when I first opened it up, a little intimidating. Just a little bit, not gonna lie.
Out the door, you see someone that you know and they ask you how you are, and you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
I like the flexibility. It reminds you of Dungeon Siege 1. You can kind of build your character however you want. So you have a starting area in the skill tree, but you can kind of loop around and be a wizard if you're a ranger. I mean, you really can do whatever you want. I like that. The requirements for stats are a little bit hard to actually pull any of this off, though, unless you go 100% into like a different path. I don't know. It always seems like, if you were to use a sorcerer spell as a monk, let's say, or as a barbarian, you can only use like a spell that's half the level that you are because you just don't have the stats for it. I think the requirements could be toned down a little bit on everything. Also, that one thing where if you have gear and then you unslot one of your gear and you find out that gear was giving you the stat to be able to re-equip that gear, makes you want to hurt children. Just kidding. I didn't say that in a video. So overall, I think the campaign was fine. It was a mix of challenging with enough variety to keep it fresh while leveling. I think the builds start off a little dull, a little boring, a little slow, but once you hit that level 20 to about 40, I think the game really starts to pick up and get really addicting. Now going from my end game level build to starting a new level character almost feels monotonous and discouraging, just because compared to how fun your build is later, it really demotivates you from starting fresh again. Once they've released more different acts, I think this won't be as bad, but it feels really bad to be at the end of Act 3 and me not consuming a lot of POE content. I just play, kind of just have my experience first before I look up anything. It felt really bad having to immediately start Act 1 again. I don't know if that was the same feeling for anyone else, but I was like, oh, I literally just have to do everything all over again. I'm sure I'm pretty sure that's not their plan. I've heard that there's more acts coming out. Now the bosses I think is where the game just explodes, okay? Each boss, even starting from Act 1, the first boss is a challenge. It's got unique abilities. It's almost like each boss is a raid boss that you would expect at the end of an act in WoW, okay? These bosses are very fun. They're so engaging. Now, do they compete with Dungeon Siege 1? Who knows, okay? I think Dungeon Siege 1 can give a run for its money, okay? That gargoyle, zap zap. It's a pretty engaging fight. It's got unique sound effects. I don't think it can be beat. But in Path of Exile 2, I think is really going to set the standard in the gaming world for just how fun they can be. And as my build actually progressed later on, and I started to one-shot bosses, because it felt like I needed to build more damage rather than defenses, because no matter how many defenses I built, I was still dying pretty quickly. So I was just like, you know what? Screw it. We're going all in on damage, okay? If I can kill everything before it has a chance to attack me, then you know what? I think that's the way to go. And it turns out that I immediately started progressing way faster than I was before. I just said, screw it, I'm going full damage. But as a consequence, I started killing bosses before they could show me anything. So I really hope that they reduce damage that bosses do, but also increase the health pool, because I feel like every time I was killing a boss, I was missing out on things like the engaging fight. Now, when I was doing my 4th Ascendancy, I thought that boss fight was really well done because the boss didn't do a lot of damage in the Temple of Shikima or whatever it's called, where you have to do the 4 roguelike, sections. I thought that boss was actually really fun. I was really scared because I was going to get one shot and everything was going to be bad. But the boss actually doesn't do a lot of damage and takes a really long time to kill. And I don't necessarily think that every boss has to be like that, but I feel like that was more in the realm of what I would consider fun. I died on Barbarian very quickly, by the way, so I'm playing my monk now. Way easier. Way easier. Hardcore? Hell no, I'm not doing hardcore. Okay, this is... I'm already on tier 15 maps, okay? You think I haven't died? Nah. Give me that Flicker Strike dopamine, okay? I need the Flicker Strike dopamine. I need to have a seizure every time I press my ability. I need to have to switch back to my PC because it cannot physically handle my Flicker Strike. My laptop literally shuts off when I Flicker Strike. Ascendancies, okay? These are a really cool idea. I love that it's a actual challenge to ascend. For me, I think it was just a little bit too difficult, specifically the 2nd Ascendancy and the 4th Ascendancy. For some reason, I just feel like those 2 Ascendancies, the one at the Temple of Chaos, that one took me so long because it was like lose 40% of your resistances. Like, it's always going to feel horrible losing power on your character. So having it so dramatic each time and based on a little bit of luck, it just feels just not great. I do like it because I do like that achievement value, but I feel like the payoff is just not as good. Like 2 Ascendancy points, it really doesn't feel like a huge impact. Like I do notice a little bit of a power gain, but it just doesn't feel as impactful I think it should. One thing I have to mention, and this is coming from a very OG RPG type player and MMO type players, is, and I know they can't fix it. Because it's like based on how the game is designed. But like, I remember when I was leveling with my monk, I stopped at like level 60 and I was like, damn, I still look like a homeless motherfucker. I still look so bad. I look like the exact same the whole time. And I know it's so that they can sell cosmetics, but I don't think they need to have the regular cosmetics look so bad and so ununique that you just look the same the whole time. Like, I like that feeling of feeling more powerful and looking more powerful, right? And even if you can supplement that with a swipe of the card, which I understand, get your bag like you need it, you still only look like that one thing that you bought until you buy a new one. It doesn't feel like you're progressing with the character. I think that you can make skins and cosmetics look really, really cool and also have good looking, end game gear, unique stuff that shines a little bit, Gotta complain, okay? You're not a POE 2 player if you don't complain. I don't think. I'm new, so I don't know. I made that up. Now the mapping. This is where you lose custody of your children, okay? This is a fun system. I like it. One thing I noticed is that right when you get into it, right after you beat crew mode in Act 3, I got super stuck, like omega stuck on tier 1 maps. I had to go back and redo my whole build to be like min-max it to be able to pass. I had to start gambling for items to reset everything because I just could not pass a tier 1 map. Now, for a casual player, this might be a huge roadblock. I don't know if that was the same experience on everyone, but like my build was awful by the end of Rule 3 because I don't look things up. I kind of just try to figure it out myself. And I still didn't look anything up. I didn't look up any builds. I just played whatever I think is fun, whatever, play style I wanted to play, whatever spells I wanted to play. I actually ended up doing something sort of meta, so I think it kind of pushes you towards that because you really need to have a build that works to progress in the late game. Not everything is built equal. There's seems to be only a handful of things that are super strong and will help you go, but luckily it is still fun for me. I do like having weird builds and stuff. At least on Monk, I couldn't keep doing what I was doing before. After I fixed it up a little bit, running through the tiers, I got to 6 in a day from 1. That was fun. I think I haven't done any pinnacle bosses yet or anything like that. I'm not there yet. Again, I don't look things up, so I don't know even how to do any of that. I know they exist. That's all I know. I'm kind of just trying to figure out everything on my own through like the tooltips in game. All I know is like divine orbs are literally you will sell your children for if you haven't lost custody already. I think the mapping system is addictive. I just keep wanting to go through them, but I do feel like it's just a little bit too punishing, especially because how easy it is to get one shot. I even switched to like a full defensive build with a bunch of energy shield. I got the monk thing where it converts your evasion to armor or combines them or whatever, and I get one shot. I just get one shot. I don't know what it is. I get one shot. I have like 2,000 health. I have like 2,000 energy shield. I have 75% on all resistances. I have 66% armor. I have 66% evasion, which I believe is supposed to be like ideal on everything. I asked ChatGPT. Okay, that's the one thing I went to go look for. I'm pretty sure it's correct. The chat wouldn't lie to me. Okay, he's my homie. But tier 12, in tier 10 maps, I still get one shot. I can clear tier 15 if I get lucky. I still get one shot in tier 10 maps randomly. Like I'm in my Flicker Strike and boom, I'm just dead. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I die in Flicker Strike half the time I use it, and it's fun, so I just keep using it. So I'm not going to stop using it because it's fun. Screw you, POE 2. I'm still using it, okay? I don't care if it teleports me into a boss fight and I get one shot. I'm still using it. But I think it is a little bit too punishing because one death and you lose not only you lose your waystone, you lose all the affixes on like the map part. I mean, like, it just feels so bad. It just feels awful to lose all of that in one shot, in like a random one shot. It has all these portals around, so I feel like you should get at least like one life for each portal. Or if you only get the one life, don't lose all the affixes, at least like the first time on everything. You don't lose the waystone maybe. Or maybe like the waystone loses one little buff on it and you have to like use a exalted orb on it to get it back to where it was, These are all just ideas. Okay, but it just does not feel fun when you lose, when you just get one shot. It just doesn't. It's too punishing. You lose experience too. Like, I'm stuck on level 86 now because I die almost every map because I'm trying to push into the next tier and I'm just losing everything. I'm making negative progress. So the crafting, I think playing self-found, or at least self-imposed self-found, because I still wanted to play with my brother. We both got the game. We both having fun with it. I think that's the way to go. I know there's like a trading website and everything. I haven't really engaged with that, partly because I'm too lazy, and secondly, I think it kind of takes away from finding something and feeling that impact of like, oh, I finally got an upgrade. I really like that feeling, and if I could just buy what I want for like a divine orb, I don't think I'm gonna have that feeling. So far I've only really engaged with the currency trading and just crafting my own items and gambling for it. I really do wish that there was some way of singling out a prefix or suffix to get rid of or interchange, even if it's like a very rare crafting material. I haven't seen one drop or seen one that I can use to like get rid of accuracy on a weapon amidst like 6 different affixes. It would be like godsend to save some of my items that are like almost perfect. The raw mechanics of the game are so fun that they can make it Pokemon Snap and I would still have fun playing it. I don't know how that would work, but wherever they go in the future, I think it's headed towards a really fun place. I'm just never playing Warrior again.
Slide it.